Thanks. I hope you will have a fruitful weekend, and we will start our national assembly with the official words from the representatives of the university and our president, Ronaldo. So please come to the stage.
Thank you so much. So, hello, next time for the life of the business. Yes, and it's yes, for us. So, we have to definitely, we say, in the next year. And we have to have to shape us all the way to the something like that. So, the bank, we going to fix. Right, and this is the reason for the I was wondering if
Thank you. Thank you very much. We will have some speeches from the university representatives. This is Nigel Bureau, who's the student leader officer from our Department of University of Science and Methodology of Trnava. We also have Mrs. Alma Petrovic, who's the business coordinator for economics unit, and the other academics from Department for External Relations in Corporation. University of Trnava. And we also have Mr. Tom Weinisch, who is the director of Petroleum Student Development of the University of Inter. So please not presentation. Yes, some speeches. Thank you.
So dear ESN members and guests, as a happy and I want to welcome today to Trnava in my native town. I'm from the university, the department of which is that operation, and we cooperate with you, with Trnava a lot. It means a lot to me to be here today, and I'm very proud that you're participating that so many young enthusiastic students who want to help us, help our foreign and graduate students to feel here like at home, to spend their time available, and to develop your free time with your volunteers. And I wish you a very productive event in the a lot of great new ideas, a lot of nice connections, and once again, welcome you here in the city in Trnava. So, dear members, dear guests, dear students, So I'm very happy to welcome you to this ESN National Assembly. My name is Nadia York. I am from the University of Science and Technology in Trnava. I work for the International Relations Office. So I'm very happy to be here with you today. So we are people who help international students feel welcome and supported when they come to Slovakia. So your work is very okay. Your work is very important for the first experience here. So you are the first people in Erasmus student meet here. You help them feel like at home. So thank you for your work, your time, and your support. I wish you a nice event and many good ideas for your future activities in the Erasmus community. So thank you and have a nice day. Thank you. This is
Do you need one? Dear students, welcome to Trnava. My name is Roman Bajaš and I am director of students dormitory at the Pazman. I wish you a nice and fulfilling weekend. Beautiful. Okay, thank you very much for the lovely introductions. Okay. So we are challenging. First of all, thank you very much for hosting us. We are very happy to be here with you. So just some introduction. My name is Vijay, and I'm a manager. I'm responsible for mobility institutions. I studied at Notre University. I joined the ESN in 2015, which was a long time ago. My passion is obviously ESN mobility. And fun fact about me is that I relate to this theme of this NA because I have done elements and then unity. So, um, love it. So, hello, my name is Bartos. I'm from Vietnam, working here. I'm responsible for bringing me videos, and I'm doing connections in the university. I joined ESN 2024 when I was just studying stuff, and the great president based in Montana. And contacted my training profession is being gained a little, and I really enjoy playing volleyball while this is international NA, and my first NA is part of the training. Hello, my name is Dylan. Doing my research in philosophy and alcohol. Not the teacher. I joined the university to find a new school. Part of USN Level. It's in Germany. One thing about me is they have new hobby every week. So I don't know what I'm going for this. Yeah. Yeah. It's always the sharing thing for this motion. Assembly. We will proceed with the rules again of this national assembly. So that's going to be skip now. Okay, so rules of the national assembly. Obviously, it's that. Yeah, we have to use it for this. No, this one is dead. Oh. Okay, so for the language of this national assembly is obviously English because we are intercultural and we have other nationalities here, so and international guests. Please don't be late and respect everyone's time, really, because
you know. Please behave according to the code of conduct. Be nice to the organizing committee and ask politely if you'll need something. Please try not to use ESN abbreviations because we have some newbies here, so they can understand what we are talking about. And please don't forget about our international guests to approach them, to contact with them. Then please respect the speakers and be quiet while they are speaking. During question round, if you have a question, please raise your hand. And when you'll be asked to speak, please say your name and section. If the question you wanted to ask was already asked by someone else, then say covered by and member and section. If you'll have any procedural question, please raise one finger. If you have a comment, please raise two fingers. So just, yeah. Okay. Mascots. Thank you. About sorry. About mascots, please try to borrow them during the official program.
Don't go into someone's personal belongings. Don't hurt any librarian personalities. Don't forget to make deals. And please give instance that the explanation how this starts to trigger some of us. Okay, so for the agenda, we have a complete change to the agenda because national emergency is unable to come due to personal matters. So we will have technical reason. So we have some votings, then we will have presentation from Alejandro about the GLP, then we will have community meetings, then the technical group, and then we'll put them after. So we should be
Okay.
and during the city meeting,
We will have candid.
suppose I got started. We will have candidacies, we will also have a date, about some new section sections, which we can see as an presentation. Venture training, government changes, I will have similar to this vision. I will also have achieving NGO transition action strategies. We will have presentations from international guests. And after that, we will have candidate position updates and other stuff. So for Sunday, we will have separate field strategy. Then we will have an election and voting. Then session dates. After that, we can reports for the results feedback per sheet. Now we will proceed with the voting. So maybe just click. Yeah, we'll have two types of votes. One is secret, second is public. So for the secret vote, you will be able to move through voting ballots. As opposed to the vote section is nice to schooling, those are one of the things for each. Then we will ballot. Because the vote section is going to vote over only from your name, section code, we say your answer clearly and boldly. Okay, then we proceed with the workshop. Then please, roll over this statements. Thank you. So the question is, are you feeling good with gladiator? the word data regulates the different to say option one or option two. So we will start with C.
Two.
Okay. Okay. U. Okay. Two.
That listens to the opinion.
One.
Something about option.
Okay. Two. Next. One. Two. Thank you. Middle. Option two. One. Make option one. Option one. Middle.
Found that option one.
Corta. Okay. Wow. Thank you. We have done this. We will do it. So thank you very much. Then we will proceed with the official voting for the agenda. Okay. So we will continue with this short salary. We'll start again. ESN. Just say a sheet, you don't have to say. Okay. ESN. Here's the one. Here's a terminal. Here's a zone. Here's a card. Here's a thousand.
Yeah.
Here's an OMBB.
Yes.
Here's a platform. And here's a capital. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have done yes, so the agenda of this session is in a second. And now we will go to the continues. First of all, we will need to years.
Plan.
The scrutineer is the person who will check the minutes if they are correct after the initial assembly, and they will also be in assistance in case of voting to confirm that they are okay. It's not that much responsibility. You just need to read the minutes after the machine is sent. So we have two volunteers and 4 amendments. Will be on national number and the date of vote over the so somehow how to do it.
I'll see him on.
Okay.
Yeah, we did it.
Next one. Your name, please. Your last time, please.
You know we're not so.
Is that right? Can you repeat that? Please, now.
Yeah.
It's
H R Y
S
S
E.
T Y N A and D M Y E R I U K.
Thank you. Okay. And one volunteer. Okay. That's it.
Look, I guess I'm special.
Your last name, please. Luca. Are you going to
Link the name for ESN.
Rename.
Probably start M or Y.
Wait a second.
That's fine.
Can I have your name from identity? the agenda. And we have agenda brought by the cameras. There's a name here. Where? In the agenda and brought by the cameras. By the cameras.
Yeah,
And the file just here.
if you don't see people.
What's better?
Me, I cannot
Right.
think. I'll go like that.
Choose interviews, do you taking up the meeting and not being alone? Magazine for as continues for his mentioned panel, page in the no. Kind of saying, was there's a display.
But well, in the presentation, it is
So
on.
trying to improve. We also before okay. I did the presentation and it was for this standard.
It is correct in here, but when it shows on the screen, it is not.
Okay, so it is not more saying. Let's go. ESN
ESN
EU, ESN Slovakia, ESN Slovakia, ESN Poland,
ESN Pune.
Korea, ESN Europe, yes, ESN Russia, ESN Kushita. Okay, understand. The student is approved. Thank you very much. And okay, we're done.
Now, please.
All see, come to the stage. If you're going to come.
Okay.
And that's baby. Issues, never mind. But yeah, that's actually what I wanted from my skin.
Thank you. Some of those students that will be helpful for different technical devices. We need to do, please. And now to the one welcome for the general assembly update.
Awesome. Oh, thank you. I like none of those.
The same way the building buildings here is the machines.
Do you guys see the presentation or need to turn the lights?
Ah,
Is it better?
yeah, that took place approximately 1 minute. It's probably the best. Okay. Okay. essentially that is this usually called ESN Slovakia. Uh, it takes place normally twice a year, but there's also sometimes actually general assembly. The last one took place in last week. It was the elections, so it was quite intense, and it happened in Nicosia, Czech Republic, and the Asian reason why it was well, me, Janka, and Vicky. There we had raised 145 participants. This is the picture of set, which is the Central European region of yes. Yeah. So everything I'm saying, shouldn't be anything too new. Because you can find materials in the reports on the mailing list and on the drive. And yes, this is the usual thread that I start reading constantly. If you don't notice, there is the review for the learning, which will call it. And the ELA with so they will find information. Okay. So one of them, of course, the elections, and this it was very intense. And I applied for a position which did not do it. It was also favorable to the academic examination. It was, of course, also an opportunity for networking with all the other national organizations of ESC. And it's in the best practices as always. And of course, also it was a moment of consultations because something that happens in the assemblies is that usually the regions of ESN and also, of course, the Central European region, they meet after the regular plenaries and they discuss the topics that will be voted on. Also, around the next general assembly spring, we'll see was elected, it was votes. Because they all hosted the EGM. And the possible second yes in the region, Kazan didn't get approved. So they will have to go through the process again to become full members. So, but I think actually this is all in the report, so I will not to be it. So yes, we have the full board, we have the communication management system. And here you can see like the full composition of it. The president and the project administrator and the process. Okay. We also have the commission. Okay. And the commission. Here there's vacancy, so that's one of the reasons why we will have concern with general summation. And the arbitration board. The arbitration board mainly actually last 2 years, but last year we only had a secretary, so now we finally also made the paper and a legal expert that will continue for this year. Yes, also you sound like I got a shout out because we fulfill our duties very fast. We're like, yes, what's next? So we will have an actual general assembly. We'll take place online. The room will open the mailing list already happened. If you're part of the mailing list, which we will by now know, then you will see email with the title room to external general assembly. You will be published in like ESN video soon. And it will also be available for you. You will see consultation form. In mid-July, see consultation voting, and on the 26th of July will be the EGA. 28th, actually. There is no news. But this will be a duty for the new. And now we'll have another presentation. Yes, it's not in the meeting. Three meetings in Vilnius and Tallinn, Riga, Alexander,
Okay, so community meetings, four of us from national, yeah, sorry.
My dear friends, so let's I'm really excited about my using them as a because it's really something. So it's something so this when rather than having it's fine because something from the show and when really happens to me in the same way to see it's made useful for me because very there has the first time we find the city so
Multiplicatively equals to roughly 20 tables. So we have managers for the coordinators, the coordinators, here. I able to do so for project coordinators, progress, communication for meetings or for meetings, files, and messaging. I able to become thumbs. Okay. Okay. Let me see. So we can have a long-term strategy with this internet. It will be until it's economic, and we will see as our so to see ESN Slovakia. Then we talk about the social events and see legal matters in those events. That we should think tomorrow. Then we'll be related to training, so how to establish platform facilitators and how learning stakeholders work. And also, of course, extending best practices, validating, and building community, and deep and also ways of management. And it's just they can improve creativity that comes back in ignorance. So that brings perspective human resources, beyond conflict management, and also governance topics like initiative duties and also yeah, other legal matters.
yeah, so to the state, we will have Married relation, for regulatory advice for the years. Okay, we were going to communicate, for start, and we were mentoring the benefits to the new communication. Basically, when one that she no, I remember like the first year, when I just like when the step forward from every national language. I think that yeah, and I was involved in my last section. We go to time, slowly from the same bring one is very when you around the village services in the land, see well, you don't need to like to stick to the village, where you literally is the I maybe this sense easily easily my mind like maybe I'm fine. And when I think session is complete, we will look nice and we start to around together with the point that's fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And it's done well the technical is done. So, units Perfect. So let me just put the timer there because I have to be able to be on time. I'm usually a bit late on
Presenting, so
presenting,
I want
so
to
I
be
want
on
to be on
time. I'm
time.
sorry.
Uh,
Yeah, so
so
okay, let
okay,
me
let me
just
just
know when
know
I
when
can
I can
start.
start.
You can.
Okay, perfect. So welcome everyone. I am Marco. I'm the IT manager, WPA, however you want to call it, of ESN International. And I will try and guide you through what is going to happen, like hopefully soon in ESN, because as you know, we have been working for a long time on the digitalization of ESN cards. So I'm giving you a bit of an overview of the whole process and then how ESN Slovakia is going to be involved in the process. Before doing that, of course, this is not something that is coming from us that we just want to do it. This is coming from the strategic priorities that are in ESN International for the next 6 years. And it's also defined in one of our strategic documents, that is the 3-year strategy that we're currently in the 2nd year of. And of course, this is thought to be one of the things that we want to achieve is having an ESN card as a membership tool. So this is also going in that direction. Of course, ESN card, as it's always been defined, is the membership card of the Erasmus Student Network. And as a section, each of the members should have an ESN card, which makes you also members of the entire ESN network. Of course, ESN card doesn't only have a purpose of a membership tool, but also as a discount card. I think all of you know all of the advantages of having an ESN card, but also as a tool to improve mobility for our international students. And here you can see a bit of how the ESN card evolved over time, with the last version being here and the first version being on the left. And of course, this is also a way of making ourselves recognized by our partners, local, national, and international as well. When it comes to the whole project, it started in 2004 with the creation of ESN card. So we're talking about a more than 20 years long project. And in 2012, there was the development of ESNcard.org. And since we noticed that, of course, digitalization is one of the priorities, since 2017, we started working on trying to understand how to digitalize the ESN card. It's not an easy task. It's not an easy process. And it came, of course, not only with the conceptualization, but also with improvements on ESNcard.org. That will continue as well, because we are now trying to come up with a new concept for esncard.org, because we're aware of the limitations of the platform. And then, of course, due to COVID that hit it, the project a bit stalled. But then we came back working on this more intensely after COVID. And hopefully we will be able to start the onboarding in this year. Okay, how did we work on the onboarding? How did we structure it? We presented in the last General Assembly a document that is the 6 years onboarding plan, where we are structuring basically the whole next 6 years. So how will we transition from the physical ESN card to the digital ESN card? Who is going to support everyone in this process? What is the role that you as sections have, and what is the role that ESN Slovakia, for example, has as a national organization? Of course, we know that going digital, it's something that will change how you work, how you distribute ESN cards. But yeah, so we know that it will impact both US sections, but also your international students, the whole network, but also the stakeholders, so the commercial partners that we have. Before going more in depth about it, we have just to define some core components. The first one is the digitalization of ESN card, of course, because sometimes we tend to confuse them. And since we want to be able to speak about the same things, we want to define them before going more, going on with the presentation. So digitalization of ESN card, of course, is the transition from the physical to the digital card. The account management system, it's a name that we conventionally use to define the service that we use to provide membership management through the issuance of the digital ESN card number, and also as a single entry point in ESN's digital ecosystem. And then ESN's digital ecosystem, it's nothing more than the set of all the platforms that ESN has. And ESN International provides to all the students and also all the volunteers that we have in the network. And if we want to see it better, you can see that this one on the left is the digital ecosystem. These are just examples of the platforms like esncar.org, the Erasmus Generation Portal, Erasmus Careers, and Erasmus Intern. And then on the right, you also have a bit more of an understanding of what is it going to be like for a volunteer to access. So you will have an ESN account, of course, and you will access to this account management platform with your account. And on the account management platform, one of the functionalities will be this digital ESN card that is going to be distributed there. Then, in order to do that, we also went a bit in the assumptions. We defined that the maximum onboarding time, depending on how big a national organization is 3 years. But also we defined a bit of a model to understand how different national organizations of different sizes could try and onboard more sections and which structures would they need. So for example, for ESN Slovakia, here we have defined an onboarding time of 1 year, more or less, because we thought more about having an onboarding of one section each month. And then how is this time divided, since we know how big the national organizations are and how they can also leverage on sections involvement or support structures. We define that it will be more likely that the involvement of a support structure will be more easy. So half of the onboarding will be carried out by them. But then also you as section have an active role in the process because you will be the ones implementing it, and you will also be the ones sharing information on how well it went, what were the best practices that you put in place, and so on. While the board instead should have a bit more of a supervision role so that they can also, of course, enter more in the practicalities of it, but also like direct a bit more what's the direction of the whole country. And this, of course, it's a model. It's not written on the stone that it should be like this, but each national organization then will define the structure that is better for them. Of course, as I mentioned, you will also be able to talk to other section to either to onboard them or support them. But then it's important that in this case, specifically, you as national organization will create a stable support structure to support each of you in the onboarding process. This is being done simply because if you think about ESN, we are more than 500 sections all over Europe. And if we were to act on it as ESN International, of course, we would not stay in the 6-year timeline that we defined. So yes, we need a bit of support on anyone's side. How will this look like? Of course, for ESN Slovakia, the onboarding timeline will be on the academic year 2028-2029. So we will start on September 2028 with, you see here, the second version of the mapping between sections and higher education institutions. We will go a bit more in depth about it later. But then the testing stage, so when the platform will be set up and tested, will be extending from September until January. So the onboarding, we have an idea that each national organization will need to define how their own national organization will be onboarded. So when each of the section will be then onboarded on the platform, and then this should be delivered to us by the November of, in this case, of 2028. But then also by January, you will also need to have the support mechanism in place if you have to create one or if you want to create one. Then, of course, in January, we will need to have the final mapping between higher education institutions and sections. And then it will start the onboarding. So after choosing what is the first section that will be onboarded, we will start selling the digital ESN card through the platform. And that basically is going to be then following then the onboarding plan that is defined by ESN Slovakia for this. And this whole timeline is what we will define as transition. So the time from when you start testing until when you are supposed to be finishing the onboarding plan. Of course, as structures involved, the one that you have more contact with is your sales. So as sections, you will have the task of sharing best practices, testing before onboarding the platform, participate also in onboarding of other sections, depending on what your national organization decides as a strategy to the onboarding. And then, of course, your national organization will have to present your boarding plan, share what are the best practices that you have as sections, but also them as national organization came up with when it comes to this digitalization process. As mentioned, there is also the definition of the higher education institution and section mapping. We will go later into that. And participation in online calls where we will be updated on the status of the implementation, what is working with the platform, what is not working, and so on. And of course, as already mentioned, the internal support mechanism. So I mentioned this already, the higher education institution section mapping. What is it? Basically, it's a mapping that will allow us to grant the student the specific ESN card to the specific section, depending on the higher education institutions that sections are having. So if I am a student that is going, I don't know, I'm saying it, ESN Košice, for example, to get the ESN card, and I am having, I think in Košice, there's only one section, am I right? Because I think so, I've been there. So I didn't meet more than one section, but yes. So all the the universities that are in Košice and are in the city of Košice should be assigned to ESN Košice. Then if there are more than one section in one city, what will happen is that the sections will need to be divided because, the higher education institutions will need to be divided between the two sections because also we want to provide a better student support to them. And because also when it comes to talking with IROs, this is also a bit difficult, no? So to provide a better also reference point for the sections and higher education institutions when it comes to supporting international students. And then, of course, you will also need to understand what will happen when a new section joins ESN Slovakia, when an old section leaves ESN Slovakia, how to reassign the sections to specific groups. Of course, as mentioned, the support mechanisms, but also the onboarding plan. The most important part for the onboarding plan is to choose the first section because that will be the first one testing and then will be the piloting section to lead the change, let's say. And for the national organization, of course, the onboarding plan can be done by one of the people in your national board or in your national board supporter structures. But of course, it's better if it's done by someone that is an IT manager that can also better understand what is the consequences of all the digitalization process that you will face. Then for the sections, what I want you to know is that there is going to be a stage in your distributions where you will have both digital and physical ESN cards. And depending on the students, they will either have one or the other. So a student will not have both the physical and the digital ESN card. And this is done why? Because we want you, first of all, to finish all the physical ESN cards that you have, but then also because in case something is not working, you still have the possibility to fall back to the old physical ESN card mechanisms, because we don't want you to risk too much into this. And we want you to also have a safeguard mechanism that will allow you to safely stay in the moment if there are any issues, to safely continue with what you already have. Of course, you will also have for this to prepare your partners, so your local activities that that are offering discounts to your international students. But also you have to communicate the transition to students because people might be a bit confused by the fact that someone has a digital, someone has a physical, and so on. And also you have to start understanding, if we are going digital, does this mean that I am able to sell a digital ESN card before students are coming to your universities? This is something that you have to start wondering, because then, for example, the Ryanair discount will serve its purpose of people being able to reach your university traveling with their own 20 kilos luggage to get to the mobility destination. And then, of course, another thing is that you will need to understand how you want people to pay. So is it an electronic way of paying? So either through PayPal, Revolut, or Stripe, or is it an on-site payment? So either cash or with some digital payment mechanisms like POS. What I can tell you that will not happen is the bank transfer. So people will not be able to pay via bank transfer. But that's the only thing. And then, of course, we were saying before what is important for the first onboarded sections. First of all, we will need to have some agreements in place where us as ESN International will engage with you. We will promise you some specific stuff, like the fact that if you are having some kind of disruption through the service, you can still fall back to the physical ESN card, that you can order, for example, of price, if you're going in this transition, that you can order at the same price as an ordinary order for an extraordinary order of ESN cards, and so on and so forth. Of course, you will need to participate in alignment meetings and a testing stage. The testing, for the moment being, it's thought to be about 10 hours every 2 weeks. So this means that it's it's a bit more flexible, because it was before 5 hours every week. But then we understood it was not really flexible with the timeline and everything that is going to happen. But what is important for you to understand is that it's 10 hours considering all the people that are involved. So if you have 2 people that are testing for 5 hours, this is counting as 10 hours every 2 weeks. If you have 4 people testing 2 hours and a half, this is still counting as 10 hours every 2 weeks. But instead, if you have 3 people testing 1 hour, this doesn't count as 10 hours every 2 weeks, because it's basically 3 hours. For the timeline of the activities, you see here a bit more what I was showing you before. Here you have the testing stage and the draft of the onboarding plan by your national organization and the mapping of the higher education institutions and sections. Then January and February will be the onboarding, because we want to start it when the academic year starts. And then the onboarding of the additional sections following the onboarding plan. Of course, this goes until July, but then it's extended. The same activity will continue until the end of December. The agreements that we have will be only for the first section being onboarded. And then, of course, On our side, it will be our task to contact your national organization to inform that you will start the transition at the beginning of the academic year. We will present some sessions during the regional platforms and provide some updates over the year. We will try and come also visit the sections that are being onboarded or your national organization to understand how everything is going. And then, of course, we will have also to transition the support structures that will support you at the international level. And finally, since we know that documenting everything that we are saying, it's really important, we will try with our support structures to create and update every material so that you are aware of everything that is happening, how it's happening, and how to configure the platform, how to communicate it to partners, so that everything can be more easy on your side. And as mentioned already, the year where we are expecting you to be onboarded, it's 2028, 2029. So we will contact you in September 2028. And we will then move on with the implementation. I think that's it. Okay, yes, of course, communications channel, just a little bit. What we decided is just that we will communicate both via email. So in this case, I put Gmail because we're Google based, and Slack. But this can also change depending on how then the first years of implementation are working, because this depends also on how easy it is for us to have these communications channels. And I think that's it. So if you have any questions, I'm here to answer to them. Yes. I hope I was clear. Please tell me if I was not clear. But yeah, if you have any other questions that I will not be able to answer you here, you have my email here. And yeah, of course, I'm WPA also 2026, 2027.
Quick questions, and if you have an additional comment.
Just tell me, okay, can you, Janetta, turn around the camera again? Like, please raise your hand if something I said, like everything I said was clear. Okay, okay, that's good to see. Please turn your turn your hands up if you are scared about it. Okay, 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 that's good. I mean, it's also okay to be scared. Change is also, it's not easy, especially digital transitions are not easy. So yeah, I understand if you're scared. I am as well, but no worries.
Okay, so we have questions. I think we can conclude this presentation. Thank you very much, Natalie. Please, to Slovakia, and we'll proceed with the other part of the function now. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Have a nice weekend and enjoy your NP.
Please, our video come to the stage because I'm going to meeting. Okay. Is this one? Ah. So I will be presenting, let's say the roundup of, web integration meeting meetings. So first of all, for virtual roundup, so people viewing and listening to your meeting takes place daily. it belongs to the Congress, the EU, and the this is it is from all you angles. Once again, we listen to the game of people who use these in words your proofs to the mobility. So, when people are missing the gym, not being from the obligation because it was late, so we just give it's really system was officially significantly it's the delegation legal, we all are like delegation legal and do it. The other delegation system was considered people from the number people from the us. So that was disputed. There should be influence. So this those another way being changes that was very so these things which got redistributed. They are in so we get kind of the name of the champion of DJs and the macro or anything. So, I opening general. Here these students which they are missing. So this is for institution, for example, the organization. They study students. They can visit the they want to become lawyers. They go there with them, they become so we can do the audience. And we have to change some student so like the students. I was an experience. So thanks some people to show the experience, so information. For me, EJ was really an amazing tools because now the quick EJ so you want to see. It's really when you listen to me, I think when you really get the first to be doing it's such a simple fiction before to algorithm. EJ is free, this year it was not even the systems, the program will even different. People who experience it using something not right. I agree with and yes, the is the foundation of values. Because the movement experience in the individual government, those who make the people ships and cities go running things, and sort of the vicinity on the internet and compare the world. And it's also organized on our own delegation. I would say. All these were organized, so yeah. Because we need to see it was me, super sick, in the community, you will see it noise of the police. Basically. Yes, it's one of the mentioned, yes, and no. The beauty of yes and the yes, no. Is the training, our model, when we visit about the student, like the university. I mean, really great. And people want to party with ESN Slovakia. So I would see really like what noise is the first. Okay, that was cool because we didn't want to learn my community. So still want to share.
Okay, fine. Um, thank you. Actually, thank you very much about the presentation about international welcoming. It's
we have some information. Some actually already listed. So we have I'm from ESN Slovakia. Reason comes from you mentioned it, but I mean I think it was visible. Then ESN Germany. Then we have Dominica and J from ESN two from ESN University. So you will be during the initial meeting, and then happy to sitting. It's also English is still because closing the impact. So you need to see new places and say this is the is. Okay, so you in the experience that you have with the telephone or communities. Thank you. Now you can see the country page. You will working things happening. Just explain. The resource my banks tend to really ice. And rather than to me as maybe like I mean, you know, there were really like me my creation tools. Okay, so let me check the video. So in this particular movie, with this particular movie, then it's a movie, it's me and the movie, fire my countries, and then I see the Americans, the things, and the very family, and it's one and the other. So, yeah, it's when I see it, it's really events. I hope you will enjoy all of you. And we have some we have a different solution. And we will listen to the station. Thank you so much. So, I would quickly explanation about here. So we have some leaders, you are in specific groups, where some activities for you where you will share some feedback, how you feel during this day, and you will provide specific questions. And then I will be able to introduce you to groups and things you listen to message. Sorry, something. She doesn't seem very good. So I the two books that we read for this segment because we have to proceed with the day. With the guests that you have chosen, we decided to split you to two groups if we like to divide families, so you can fit only the new family and the other group will have the diamonds. So this thing will be great. Sitting and I see when you be the roots and can then say the name, your situation. I'm from the ESN Slovakia section. Yeah, so glad to see you. I hope to help you, everyone. Yeah, so you can ask a question. Ask me. Thank you. Hi, so I'm Alessandra. I'm from ESN Elva, and I'm excited. Hi, I'm Maria. I'm from Mexico. And actually, me, I'm from so, and yeah, that's what I'm looking for that. Hi, I'm Emma. I'm also from Community University in Trnava, and also I'm seeing like two people in my family, but usually the other stuff. Really want to see you. My name is Norbert. I'm from Geneva, and first experience in Madrid. We can find which family events and children. Here we here the events that has our own life and great and do their life. Thank you. And we'll see the announcements. Yeah. And now it's very young. And it's Okay, so these data gains are the guide study into the city that we are human to be you can leave it here, it will be locked. Yeah, you can leave information